What is going on, guys? My name is DJ. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, definitely subscribe because I make all kinds of content about fashion, life, and college advice. So if you are excited for this video, definitely leave a like below before we get started because I am dropping a whole bunch of gems on things that I wish I knew before coming to college. Let's get into this video. Run that intro. Alright, before I get into these tips, I just wanted to talk about my college experience just very briefly. I just finished my junior year at my school and I'm really excited to be going into my senior year. With the global pandemic that we are facing, I don't know what my senior year is going to be like. It's really uncertain every day. There's new things that are changing, but I'm just doing my best to stay positive and get excited for the year. With my 3 years of college experience, I am excited to share with you a lot of the things that I feel like I've learned that I think are very unique. Of course, I want to give you some tips that a lot of other people say, and then I'm going to give you some tips of my own that are fairly unique. So let's get into them right now. This is going to be something that you won't be able to do right away, but after your first semester, you're going to want to build a schedule that works for you. Yes, you. Not your friends, not your friend's schedule or sleep schedule or the way that they like to go about their day. This needs to work for you, and you have control over that for the most part. Sometimes classes that you want to take aren't exactly offered in a way that's perfect for you, but for the last 3 semesters, I have blocked my entire Tuesday, Thursdays with classes, and then I have no class on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. And for me, that works great. Even though I end up having really busy Tuesdays, Thursdays, I know that Monday I can prep for the week. Wednesday, I can, do whatever I need to do in between days. And then my weekend is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And so that works personally for me, but I know a lot of people don't like having a full day of 4 or 5 or more classes. You have to do what works for you and what works for your schedule. When do you like to eat? When do you like to work out? When do you like to relax? When do you like to sleep? There's so much to consider when building your schedule, and you have to do that and understand what works best for you. And don't just take a class and build your schedule like your friends because that's what your friends are doing, because 1, those friends might change. 2, you might not be as healthy as you could if you were making a schedule for you yourself. So definitely do what you can to build a schedule that works as perfect as it can for you. And trust me, you're going to enjoy college a lot more when you are not living on somebody else's schedule but yours. Alright, for the next tip, when you are new to campus, you're all excited, you're meeting new friends, you're getting involved, but the reality of school comes in and you are gonna need textbooks. Or you think you'll need textbooks. This is a pretty controversial tip because a lot of people will disagree with me, but I really think that you should not buy your textbooks right away. Wait. It's gonna sound like a long time to wait 2 weeks to get your books, but I would say wait 2 or more weeks because oftentimes you might start by using the textbook the first week or 2, and then you don't use it again for the rest of the semester and you just spent $50, $100 or more depending on what book you needed. And so definitely hold off on doing that. Share with a friend if you can. Find an online version. If you can avoid buying textbooks, I would say avoid it. For the next tip, it is all about the money. How to get it, what should you do when it comes to finding a job in college. I'm also using this $5 bill because this is the only cash that I have on me. But anyway, finding a job in college is really huge. This is the first time you've been so independent that you don't get to go to work after school and then come home and get your mom's food, or work on the weekends a job that you're working in the mall. Whatever your previous employment has been, it's gonna be different. And a lot of people might advocate for getting a job somewhere off campus or doing something like that, but personally, I think an on-campus job is the best way to go. They're very flexible with your hours as a student, and they're just super accommodating, and they understand because they work at the university. They know what it's like, they know what the curriculum's like, they know what events are happening on campus, and they understand. And so if you can, I would say find an office job, a desk job. For me, I found a job working in video production for athletics, and I've done that since my freshman year, and I'm gonna continue doing that. And that's been an incredible group of people, and I've learned so much about working on a team. But what I am going to recommend with this tip is not to get a job your first semester or quarter of college. It's something that's really daunting to take on. My advice to you is to take that first semester or quarter that you're in college, get a feel for what your schedule is like. Understand when you like to eat, when you like to sleep. Like I said in the other tip, making your schedule. How do you like scheduling your day? When do you like to do certain things? Can you fit in a job? With your academic courses, will you be able to even fit in a job? That was the reason that I waited. I wanted to see, gosh, if college is as hard as some people say it's gonna be, I don't know if I'll have time for a job. I was taking 16 credits my first semester, and that seemed like a manageable load. So I thought to myself, okay, well, if I can find a job where I'm working in the evenings, that'll work perfect, and then I can have my classes throughout the day and then work a lot of the evenings of the week. I applied for a job and I actually didn't get it. I was really sad because it was a job working in my dorm as one of the community assistants, which is one of the people at the front desk. I was super excited. I was very involved in my dorm community, and everybody was telling me, oh, you're for sure gonna get it, and I didn't get it. And I was really sad, but there was like 12 people who applied for that, and so I wasn't super bummed. And one of my friends who was a junior at the time, he said, oh, you should look in applying for where I work. And I asked him, and he told me he worked with video production for athletics, and I've always loved sports. I played basketball for a couple years in high school, and I missed it. I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to play college sports, but on top of intramurals, I thought it would be fun to get involved and see our sports teams doing what they do. I've loved that job, and they understand my hours as a student, and they also understand my hours as an RA. My junior year, I became an RA. That was an incredible experience. I'll talk about that later, but I was able to have flexible hours and let my boss know is I'm on duty this weekend or this evening and I can't come to this, or I have this other event for a club, whatever it is. I also know I'm talking a million miles per minute. There's a lot of tips that I want to give to you guys, so if you need to rewind, do that. I'm gonna be giving you as many tips as quickly as I can, so I hope you are enjoying and keeping up. I also really want to encourage you to take notes. If you just graduated from high school and you're getting ready for college, these are some of the things that you're going to want to have in the top of your mind as you're going into college and you're going in an adjustment period. There's so many things that are going to be changing that you won't even be able to foresee, and I mean, this year is clear evidence of that. So I'm going to give you some of the predictable things that you can prepare for and that you can do so that you are ready for what is unpredictable. Basically, to wrap up this tip, I just want to say, go that first semester or quarter without having a job if you can afford it, and get a feel for your schedule, get a feel for your life and what it's like in college for you. If you can fit in a job, apply for as many as you can, and even if you don't get it, that's not the end of the world. You can find another one, and that can be one of the greatest things for you. A cool opportunity for you to make money, make some friends, and gain some experience. That's what's really valuable. Working on a team environment has helped prepare me for other jobs and other interviews that I've done over the last 3 years. And it was all because I took that leap into finding an on-campus job. But definitely, in my humble opinion, on-campus job is the way to go. All right, the next tip sounds very cliche, but it's never more true than when you are in college, and that is to not judge a book by its cover. Don't judge another person by their surface level interactions that you've had with them. Whether you've had them in class, or you've seen them in wherever your dining commons is, or even seen them outside of class. Whatever your initial interaction with them, especially when you're a freshman, it does not encompass who they are as a person and the people that they run with, especially at the beginning of college, because those people change. I mean, I remember the people I was so excited to hang with those first couple weeks of college. I haven't spoken to those people in years, and that was just me trying to find my group of people, and there's nothing wrong with that. So get to know people that you might not normally talk to, because those might be some of your best friends. So, you know, talk to everybody, get involved in clubs, and talk to the people that are like you. When I'm in social environments with a bunch of people that I know, I'm pretty open and I'm pretty social. When I get in an environment that I don't really know anybody, I'm very to myself, I'm very quiet, and it's because people went out of their comfort zone to talk to me that I got out of my comfort zone. And so you never know whose day you could be brightening up if you just make a simple conversation with them and ask how they're doing, ask where they're from. Those basic icebreaker questions, as basic as they are, they're great. And it's awesome to be able to get to know somebody that way. So don't judge somebody by those surface interactions. Really dig deeper and get to know who they are and what they're passionate about and what they enjoy doing, because those might become some of your best friends. In addition to meeting people and getting involved and putting yourself out there, you also really need to take care of yourself. That is my next tip, is to emphasize self-care. And a lot of people will probably say this, and you might have heard it or seen it a million times, but the reason why I want to talk about that is because this is an environment where you haven't, like I said, been able to just come home and be disconnected from everything and have your parents and your siblings or whoever else lives with you and a nice home-cooked meal. And whatever your reality for home was, that was a sanctuary away from school, whether it was great or not. That was time away from the environment you had. When you're away from school, you're still in school. And so you're still in the dorms, you're still with people, and you're going to be connected. Even if you close yourself off in your room, there's gonna be all kinds of things where you're involved and you might not give yourself a break. And speaking from personal experience, I got so involved that I was exhausting myself. I wanted to do so many things, be with so many clubs, meet so many people, and that was great. I don't regret it at all, but then it got to the point where I was so tired of all of the interactions that I was having. I wasn't going to the gym like I should have been. I wasn't nurturing the hobbies that I love. I wasn't doing anything creative. I was just saying yes to everything that was coming my way. I was busy, which is awesome. It's good to be busy, but in moderation. Everything in moderation. And so making sure that you can be busy when you want to, but you can also be home by yourself, whatever you need to do to take care of yourself. Just to maintain that balance, it's super crucial, and make sure that you are staying healthy and staying well. The next tip I have is to get out of your comfort zone. Maybe in high school, you were an athlete and you hung out with your friends in the team and you went to games and practice and class and that was it. Or maybe you were in the theater and that was the crew that you hung around and that was the one thing that you did. Or maybe you didn't do any of those things and you kind of just floated around and you regret that time. Don't let college be that. Really push yourself to go out of your comfort zone, meet people that you've never met before, do things that you've never tried. I mean, my video production job, I'd never done anything like that before. I wanted to get more involved in video and athletics, but I didn't know how. But I went out of my comfort zone. I was so terrified to do that interview. And it was one of the simplest interviews I've ever done, but I was so scared to do that. I didn't think I could maintain a job, but I did, and that changed my life. I learned how to play guitar my freshman year, and I'd wanted to for so long, and I finally decided that this was the time to do that, to nurture that hunger to do something that I want to do forever. And all of these things that you're going to be doing, they get you to a place where you are fulfilling yourself and you're filling yourself up. And one of the things that I've told everybody, if you know me, you've heard this a lot of times, you need to fill up your cup, because as much as you want to pour that out for other people and give to others, you can't give anything if your cup is empty. So fill yourself up, take time for yourself, but also get out of your comfort zone, because you might fill yourself up more by doing things you're uncomfortable doing than you could have ever known before. So do things that might be a little scary. You have no idea what the outcome might be, but just do them, get involved, meet people that you might not normally meet, and just have a good time and express yourself. The next one is unfortunately the dark side of my previous tip, is that friends and interests are going to change. That's inevitable. That's part of life, that's part of college, definitely, and you're gonna learn that very quickly. But don't hold on to the people that you first met or the things that you first got involved in. Be okay with change, and change is going to happen, I can guarantee that. But the more that you accept change, the better your experience is going to be. And the reason why I bring this tip up is because I really want to encourage you to not hold on to something if it's not worth it. If it's not enriching your life and making you feel happier, or if it's making you do things that you don't want to do or be a person that you don't want to be, that is not worth your time, that's not worth your energy, and that is not worth the mistakes that might come through doing something that isn't staying true to who you are. Stay true to yourself, stay true to your values, and do the things that you love to do. And don't sacrifice that for anybody. Even if they are people that you think you'd want to be friends with or acquaintances with or hang around with, just don't hold on to something that is not worth fighting for. Stay true to you, and when you make the tough decisions to cut those people out of your life, that's when you're going to find the people that are meant to be in your life. My next tip is hopping back into a fun one, and that is to go to events. If not for the good time, just honestly for a free meal. There's so much free food, free merch, free other things going on in these events in college because they have a budget and they need to supply these things. So go, grab a pizza, grab that Thai food, grab some popcorn, grab some ice cream, whatever it's gonna be. Go, and you never know who you might meet, but even if you go and you sat by yourself and you didn't meet anybody, you left with a full stomach. And that was better than if you were to not have food or have the same thing in your dining commons every day. So mix it up, go to an event. You could meet some people that are gonna change your life. Go out, explore different events. If somebody asks you to go to a club meeting, even if it has nothing to do with you. I mean, one of my friends who was part of Club Mecha, which is the Hispanic club on our campus, she invited me to come to a movie screening, and I went, and my friend actually couldn't come to that event, but I just sat there and I watched this really fun movie, and I got some popcorn and I got some traditional Mexican food, and that was so fun. And I said hi to a couple of people, but honestly, I just went, watched a movie, and I got credit for my Spanish class that I was taking my freshman year. And then I got to tell my friend that I went and I had a good time and I got a free meal and a good experience, and that was cool. So there's events like that that won't be super meaningful to you but will be cool and you'll get something out of it. And then there will be events on the total opposite. Maybe you weren't thinking much at all, or you were excited about it and then you go in and it just blows your expectations out of the water. Those are gonna happen, but it doesn't happen if you don't say yes and you don't go. So like I said in one of the earlier tips, everything in moderation. Don't say yes to everything, but even something you might be uncomfortable with, maybe give it a go. And maybe they've asked you 2, 3, 4 times. If they have been persistent with you to ask you that many times, by that point you gotta say yes, and you gotta free up time in your schedule, because those are the people that are really dedicated to you and your personal enjoyment, your personal growth, all these other things. Really tune into those people that care a lot about you, because I guarantee that they exist. It's just a matter of acknowledging them and saying yes. And so go to events that maybe you wouldn't have gone to in high school or before, or maybe your friend group or people that you hang around in your dorm aren't going to. Just go out, you have so much freedom. And if it doesn't work out, it's not like in high school where you go to an event and you're kind of stuck there. If you go to something and in 5 minutes you're not liking it, you can go home. You can walk home. That's one of the biggest things that changed my life in college. Was there were so many awkward situations that I found myself in high school that I wish I just could have gotten out of, but I was stuck in this blueprint of high school. You go at 8 and you leave at 2:30 or whatever the heck it was, and you were stuck there the whole day. If I wanted to go out and do something, I tried it, and if I didn't like it, I can go home to my room, to my sanctuary, and get away from everything. And then I want to go out again that evening, try another event, boom, I get to try it again. Or I want to go get dinner or a meal or whatever that is with somebody. I can do that, and I have the freedom to go as I please. That is one of my favorite things about college. So I really encourage you guys just to go out and explore what that might be for you. It's gonna be different for everybody, and people might disagree with what you're doing or might think what you're doing isn't cool, but just do what you love and what speaks to you. All right, and if you know me, you would have expected this tip, but guys, water. But not just water, this tip is to stay healthy. When you get to college, there's nobody that's going to tell you to stay healthy. And my dad hit me with just some serious knowledge in the middle of my sophomore year when I was just feeling really sluggish and not myself. He asked me, he was like, have you been to the gym? Have you played any basketball? Have you ran or done anything? And I was like, well, no. And he told me that, you know, you've always had a PE class, you were always playing sports, we were always active at home, and you were always doing things, you know, that required physical activity. For basically the first 18 years of my life, I had something going on that demanded some physical work. And I was eating my mom's food, so I knew that I was eating healthy. My mom's a phenomenal cook. And all of a sudden, I'm in an environment where I don't get her food, I'm not playing basketball, I'm not required to do a gym class or any strength class, and now I'm not doing any of those things. I wasn't drinking water like I do now, I wasn't going to the gym every day, I wasn't doing all these other things that now have bettered my life so much, but for the first couple years, I was really trying to find a rhythm of what that is. And so if I could go back and tell pre-Frosh DJ what I would have done, it was to make some kind of gym and diet and exercise, just general health plan, so that I knew that I was taking care of myself. One of the tips I mentioned earlier was taking care of yourself, you know, giving time to nurture your hobbies and take time to slow down and just be by yourself and all those things. That's very important, yes. But I think equally as important is taking the time for your health. Make sure that you're eating right. Make sure that you're taking care of your physical body. You know, if you are an active person, continue to stay active. If you haven't been active, now's the time. You have an on-campus gym that's in walking distance in most places that you can go for free, well, free, as a part of your education, and you can use that. And for me, I would always go in the mornings because I don't like being in the gym when there's a lot of people around. I would go, first thing, I'd wake up in the morning, 8 o'clock, and go right to the gym, and there was almost nobody there. And for me, that worked great. And that's what I did all of my junior year until the gym closed. But up until quarantine hit, I was going to the gym pretty much every day, and I would go right in the morning. I would just throw on a hat, go to the gym, get a quick workout done, and then come home, shower, and then I can get started with my day. For a lot of other people, I know they like midday workouts. I don't know how that works. I have to start my day with a shower, do my hair, clean myself. I couldn't go after the gym without a shower. But I have done evening workouts before, and that works out great, but just for me, there's too much going on in the evenings that I don't make it a priority to go to the gym if I've saved it for all the way till the end of the day. So for me personally, I start my workouts in the morning, and that's a great way for me, but find what works best for you. And make sure that you are eating healthy, you're drinking a lot of water, and you are taking care of your body. Even if it's just something as simple as playing an intramural sport, that is getting active in and of itself. Go on a run, go on a walk even. That's so simple. Explore your town, explore your campus, enjoy where you're at. Take care of yourself and do what you can. And if it's writing down a plan, do that. If it's not writing it down, it's just in your mind, or if it's that workout buddy keeping you accountable, do whatever that is to make sure that you're staying healthy and taking care of yourself in college. All right, guys, that wraps it up for me. Those are some of the things that I wish that I would have known going into college. And now after 3 years of doing it, going into my senior year, I feel very confident in those things that I have learned and that I've developed, and I'm so glad to be finally sharing those tips with you guys. If you're about to start your freshman year, I really hope that these tips sink in and they help you out as you transition into college. And if you're in college already, I hope that these tips also help you. And if you learned anything, please let me know in the comments below and let everybody know. There's a lot of things that I haven't learned or that I have that I just wasn't able to put in this video. So leave those in the comments below and let's come together and put a bunch of comments and things that we can help each other out, because that's what it's all about here. We're building the tribe here in Just DJ, and I'm so excited to be growing this community all about college and life advice and fashion, so I can be helping you guys out as much as possible to better your lives. That wraps it up for me in this video. Subscribe if you guys like what you see. Hit that bell to stay locked in with the channel, because I'm dropping videos every Thursday and every Sunday. I'm so pumped to be delivering positivity and knowledge for you guys to help you become the best version of yourselves. That wraps it up for me. Definitely check out some of the other videos on my channel and follow me on Instagram for daily updates. I talk a lot about my life and personal things on there, so definitely check those out if you haven't already. Like I said, subscribe to join the tribe. I'm so excited for everything that's to come through the summer and through next year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is DJ. I'll see you soon. Peace.